Yesterday, the BC government finally released some long-awaited data in a report on British Columbia real estate. This report was supposed to ease fears of locals that foreign buyers were snapping up our real estate and pricing us out of the market. Well, that report hit yesterday, and then things went off. You see, this report tried to claim that only 5% of sales were from foreign buyers. Well, allow the hole poking to begin. First of all, the data was only from a 3-week period. Yeah, 3 weeks. Hard to identify trends or causation when the sample size is so limited. But that's not even my biggest issue. I feel this report basically was produced in order for the BC government to proclaim something along the lines of, see, there's no problem here with foreign buyers. 95% of purchases are by locals. What are you, anti-Asian or something? Well, no, we're not anti-Asian, but this report is junk. Yeah, 95% of buyers are local. But do you really expect wealthy people who buy a real estate to list overseas addresses? Or would it surprise you at all to hear that none of the 41,000 millionaire Chinese immigrants who settled here between 2006 and 2011 are considered foreign buyers? Well, maybe not foreign buyers, but this is certainly foreign cash. And cash we really know little about. Remember, while there's free enterprise in mainland China, most of the super wealthy elites earn that money through crony capitalism, insider deals, and yes, sometimes downright corrupt practices like embezzlement. Even more concerning is the report makes no mention of one of the largest loopholes in Canadian immigration, the Quebec Investor Immigrant Program. This allows millionaire investors to pay the province of Quebec a whopping $800,000, and they are granted immediate permanent residency in Canada. And while conditions state they must intend to settle in Quebec, stats show that upwards of 89% of these immigrants don't end up in Quebec, and most of them actually end up here in Vancouver. So basically, Quebec gets the cash, we get the person. Between the now defunct federal immigrant investor program and the aforementioned Quebec program, South China Morning Post columnist Ian Young believes that approximately 61,000 Chinese millionaires moved to Vancouver between 2002 and 2014. And I'd bet it's probably a few thousand more since then. So maybe some of you are asking why I care. These people are locals now, so surely that means they'll contribute as taxpayers to the economy. Well, not so fast. Yeah, it's true that there are benefits to having millionaires, especially if you're a real estate salesman or a luxury car salesman. But the data I'd prefer to see, and I think was willingly left out of the government's report, is how many of these new immigrants are actually paying Canadian taxes. Or how many of them are simply sending their wives and kids to live in Canada while they stay and earn a living in mainland China. And believe me, this is extremely common here. This report appears to be just designed so the BC Liberals can spin the issue against the influence of foreign money while allowing them to keep pocketing the massive amounts of tax dollars raised through the BC land transfer tax. You'll also have to forgive this free market enthusiast for feeling awfully protectionist on this issue. You see, I don't believe the market's truly free when we allow foreigners to literally buy permanent residency in Canada through the Quebec Investor Immigrant Program. And then, of course, they bring heaps of cash of unknown origin. So for me, I'd like to see heavy restrictions on foreign ownership and an end to the Quebec Investor Immigrant Program immediately. However, would you or I bet for 1 minute that Justin Trudeau and the Liberals would dare tell Quebec to change anything? Not a chance in hell. For the Rebel.media, I'm Christopher Wilson.
Thanks for watching. Click here to never miss a Rebel update. Want even more of the Rebel? Well, click here to become a premium member.